Dear students, so today we'll see experiment number 7 of C programming laboratory. So the aim of this experiment is implement using functions to check whether the given number is prime and display appropriate messages. So what is the aim here? Implement using functions. You have to write a program here using functions. For what purpose? To check whether the given number is prime and display appropriate messages. So already you might have studied the prime numbers in your 10 plus 2 or in high school days. So what is prime number? So we can define a prime number as a number which is divisible by only 1 and itself. You take any number, if it is divisible by only 1 and itself, then it is prime number, else it is not a prime number. For example, there is again a discussion about whether the number 1 is a prime or not, but it's a prime number. So you consider another example, that is 2. 2 is also a prime number. Why? Because this 2 is divisible by only 1 and itself, that is 2. So if you want to divide 2, it can divide it by 1 or it can only divide it by 2. Similarly, 3 is also prime number. How? Because 3 is again divisible by only 1 and 3. You cannot divide 3 by 2. Why? Because if you divide 3 by 2, the result is 1.5, means the remainder you get 1. So we say a number is divisible by some other number only if the remainder is 0. But here if we divide 3 by 2, the remainder is 1. So that's why we say the 3 cannot be divisible by 2. So that's why the 3 is also a prime number. Hope you know all these things. Just I have briefed the things. So now we'll see how to write a C program to implement this particular aspect by using a function. So this is the C program to check whether the given number is prime and display appropriate messages. I hope already you might have studied the concept of functions in the theory class, but still I will give you some introduction about the functions, and after that we'll consider this program. So what exactly the function is? So we know what is meant by program. What is program? Program is the collection of elements which are performing a particular task. In the same way, here the function is also a collection of elements in order to perform a particular task. So what is the difference between program and function then? Program means it's a sole entity. It will be stored into a file and that will be executed as a whole program. But function is the part of the program. Means here you will be writing the number of lines in your program, but sometimes there will be some lines, the set of lines that are written to perform a particular task, and in your program you may want to execute those lines repeatedly. So usually whatever the concepts you know, so based on that what you will do, so whenever these lines are to be executed, each time you will be writing those lines. Let us consider there are 10 lines in your program. These are to be executed 4 to 5 times. So unnecessarily these 10 lines are to be written 4 to 5 times in your program. This will increase the size of your program as well as it will increase the complexity. So that's why by using the concept of function, what you can do is you can create a function, and in that function whatever the lines that are to be executed repeatedly, so these will be stored. And whenever you want to execute these lines, what you have to do, instead of writing those lines, you have to just call that function. You have to just mention the name of that function. Automatically your system is going to execute the lines that are there in the program, in the function. So that's why usually we term the function as write once and run many times. Like here, only once you are writing the lines in your function, but you may execute that at many times. Okay, so you consider the main itself. You can whatever the C programs you have seen. So in every C program, we know that it should contain the main function. Remember that main itself is again a function. So that's why here whatever the lines are there, that are part of that function. So along with this, again the functions will be of two type, that is the system defined functions and user defined functions. So we'll not consider the system defined functions here, because as the name itself indicates, these are defined by the system and the user is not having any rights to modify those particular functions. So all the way you can just use those functions, as you have used the sqrt function in the roots of quadratic equation program to calculate the square root. Okay, similarly you have used the absolute function to find the absolute value of a number and so on. So in the same way, the another type of function is a user defined function. As the name itself indicates, this function is defined by the user. Okay, so in the user program, so whenever a set of lines are to be executed repeatedly, the user may define a function, and in that function he may include those particular lines. Okay, so whenever you write a function, so how you will come to know that where the function and how the function, your program may have the number of functions also. So that's why there are certain rules that you have to follow in order to use the functions in C. So those things we'll discuss along with this program itself. Okay, so let us discuss the program now. So as usual, again we have the header file here, that is #include stdio.h to include standard IO the functions. So after this, you can see we have here int, after that is prime, after that in the pair of bracket we have int num. So here we have defined a function. So as I told you, your program may have the number of functions. So that's why here whatever the lines that are the part of your function, you have to include those lines, and for that function you should give one proper name. Okay, so usually we call that as a signature. So in the signature of a function, three things should be there. The name of the function. So in this example, the name of the function is prime, because here you are going to written this function to check whether the given number is prime or not. So it is like asking is prime. Okay, so which number you are checking? So here in our program we read a number in the variable num, and here that variable name we pass as an argument to this function. So it is prime. After that in bracket we have int num. So int num means here I am going to check whether this number is a prime number or not. Okay, so after this, here before this particular function name, you have to specify the data type. So why we have to specify this data type? This is to indicate what type of value this function is going to return. Because see, you consider your day-to-day example itself. So let us consider in your home you have one servant. So for what purpose you keep the servant? To do some task. So if you want a particular task to be done by this servant, what you will do? So you will call that servant and you will assign that particular task, and you will tell him to do that particular task. So after some time the servant is going to finish that task, and after that what he will do? So he will come to you and he will tell you about the status of that particular task, whether it was successful or not. Sometimes you might have sent him to the market to buy something. So in that case, whenever he return, so he will return you the material, whatever the items you wanted to purchase. Along with that, he may return you the change if he is honest. Okay, so that is what here whenever you have a particular function, so after executing the function should also return some value. See, it is not any hard and fast rule. If the function wish to return, so that's what you compare this with that scenario. if the function want to return a value, it can return, else it cannot return also. So that's why if a function don't return any value, the data type we specify as void here, and in other case whatever the type of value that it returns, so that will be specified. So here in our program, this function is going to return an integer value, so that's why the return type is int here. But here you consider the main function. The main function we don't want to return any value, so that's why the return type is void. Okay, so after this this is int is prime, int num. Okay, so here after this, whatever the lines are there, these lines will be used to check whether the given number is prime or not. Okay, so how to check whether the given number is prime or not? What is the definition of prime number? A number is prime if it is divisible by only 1 and itself, means any other number between 1 and itself should not divide that given number. So that's why what we'll do here is we'll take one variable as int I. We use one for loop because repeatedly we have to execute this. What we do, we start the value of I by 2, and the last value of I will be less than or equal to n num divided by 2 I plus plus. Means here, as per the definition, the number is prime only if it is divisible by 1 and itself. Okay, means here what we have to do, we have to check except 1 and the given number, whatever the numbers are there between those. For example, let us consider you want to check whether the 9 is prime or not. So if it is prime, we know that it is divisible by 1 and 9. It is true for all the numbers. But to check whether it is prime or not, you have to check whether between 1 and 9 is there any number that can divide the 9 equally. So that's why here in this for loop we start the value of I equal to 2, because 1 can divide all the numbers, we should not consider that. And here the last number will be, as per our discussion, it is num. But it is experimentally found that if the number is not divisible by the half numbers, then it is not divisible by all the numbers. So that's why instead of considering all the numbers between 0 to 9, what we'll do, we'll consider only half numbers, that is 0 to 5. If it is not divisible by any number between 0 to 5, then obviously it will not be divisible by any number after 0 to and before 9. So that's why here we have for I equal to 2 and I less than or equal to num by 2 I plus plus. So what we have to do here, so we have this if statement, if the given number, that is num mod I. So I think I have discussed about the difference between mod and slash. When you use the division operator, it is going to give you the result, but when we use the mod operator, it is going to give you the remainder. So when a number is divisible by another number, the remainder should be equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, means it is not divisible by that number. Okay, so that's why here we check if num mod I is equal to 0. If num mod I equal to 0, what happens? If num mod I equal to 0 means this I can divide the number equally. So if this is the case, we return some value that is 0. Understanding this? So these two lines are present as a part of this for loop. So that's why repeatedly it is going to check whether the num is divisible by I. I value starts from 2. Means here first this num will be tested whether it is divisible by 2, whether the remainder is equal to 0. No means again it will come back here. The next value is 3. So it will check whether num is divisible by 3. No. Again it will come back here. It will check whether num is divisible by 4, and so on until the I value is num divided by 2. So in between this, whenever the value of this is 0, what it will do? It will simply return 0. So remember, in your program, whenever the return statement is executed, so it is the last statement of that function. So when return is executed, control will be returned back to the called function. So in that case, So here whatever the further lines are there, these will not be executed. So remember this. So that's why as soon as this condition becomes true, so the return 0 will be executed. As a result, it is going to return the value 0 to the called function. Hope you know between know the called function and the calling function. Okay, so you consider the scenario of your servant. So you will be calling a servant to perform a particular task. So that's why if you consider you and servant as the two functions, okay, so you will be calling the servant means what is your role? You will be calling function, because you will be calling the servant. And what about called function? The servant is called function because the servant is called by you. So that's why here the main function will be calling this function during the execution. So that's why in this case the main function is calling function and is prime is a called function. Okay, so and always the called function is going to return value to the calling function. Remember this. So whenever this return 0 is executed, the control will move back to the calling function. So if this is not the case, that is for all the values of this, if this condition is not true, the control will come out of this for loop, and in this case also we have a return to be executed, but this time the return will return the value 1. Okay, so can you tell me when it is not true for all the numbers, and if it returns value 1, what it means? It means that there is no any number between 2 to number 2 which can divide the given number evenly. So in that case the given number is prime. So that's why in our program, if the return value is equal to 1, will be in the conclusion that the number is prime. If it is not 1, it is 0, the prime. Okay, so that's what. So after this particular function, so again to indicate the lines that are part of this particular function, after the name of the function you should include the opening brace, and after the end of all the lines you have to include the closing brace. So between this opening brace and closing brace, whatever the elements and lines are there, these will be considered as part of this user defined function. Okay, so after this we have the main function here, that is void main. So here we have these variables, that is int I and num. We declared two variables. So after that we have printf, enter the number. So we have to read the number first. So for that we have scanf %t ampersand num. So in this variable num we read the number to be checked whether it is prime or not. So once we read the number, what we have to do, we have to call this function, because we are checking whether the given number is prime or not in this function. So that's why in order to do that we have to call this function. So to call this function, what you have to do, you have to specify the name of that function and you have to pass the value. Okay, and always remember this, whenever you call a function it should match the signature. Means if the function is accepting 3 numbers, for example, so you have to pass the 3 values. If it is accepting expecting 2 numbers, so you have to pass the 2 values. If it is expecting 1 number, you have to pass 1 value, and if it is not expecting any value, you should not pass any value. If there is any mismatch between this, your system is going to throw an error. Remember this. Okay, so here what we'll do, so as a part of this if statement itself we have called this particular function. So if is prime of num, okay, is prime is name of the function and the num is assigned to this variable num. So when you execute this is prime of num, what it will do, it will execute all the lines that are part of this particular function. Okay, and at the end it is going to return the value either 0 or 1 based on this particular condition. Okay, so that's what we check. So whenever it returns a value, so that is replaced here. So that is if the is prime of none will be replaced with the value that is returning. Okay, so that's what we have to check here, whether it has returned 0 or 1. Okay, so that's why here if it has returned 0, then is prime of num will be replaced with 0. So we have to check whether if 0 is equal to 1, the condition is false. If it has returned 1, means if is prime of 1 is equal to 1, the condition is true. Okay, means if the returned value is 1, what is the conclusion? Printf the percentage d is prime number, the percentage d is replaced with num, else printf percentage d is not a prime number. Understood? So in this way you can write a C program using functions to check whether the given number is prime or not. Hope you have understood this particular program. Still, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. So after this, now we'll execute this particular program. So if you execute this program, so the output is it is asking a number, that is enter the number. This message is displayed. Okay, so we'll enter one number. So let us enter 2. Okay, so see the output is 2 is prime number, isn't it? 2 is prime number because 2 is divisible by only 1 and 2. There is no any number that can divide 2. So let us run once again. So we'll consider 9. Tell me whether 9 is prime or not. No, it is not prime number because except 199 the 9 can be divided by 3 also. Okay, so that's why let us see the output here. So 9 is not a prime number. Understood? So in this way you can write a program to check whether the given number is prime or not using functions. Thank you.